So, Avatar Fire and Ash is the third Avatar movie, once again directed by James Cameron, and it follows Jake's family as they grapple with grief after the events of the second movie, encountering a new, more wicked Navi tribe, the Ash people, who are led by their eccentric leader, Varang. So, another Avatar movie just came out in theaters, so you know what that means. Of course, I had to watch it in IMAX. Not only that, I watched it in IMAX 3D. Now, I just want to preface this by saying I do not like 3D. I don't like watching movies in 3D. I think 99% of the time it's a gimmick. It becomes more of an afterthought. Not with James Cameron and not for these Avatar movies. These are the 1%. The 3D works so well for these movies. Now, Avatar 1, I wasn't able to watch in theaters because it was 2009 and I was 3 years old. But my mom and dad did, and they absolutely loved it. They always say how much they love it, so yeah. But I was able to watch the second one, The Way of Water, in cinemas back in 2022. I watched it in 4DX, and I was genuinely surprised by how well the 3D worked in that movie. Genuinely, it was amazing. And similar to that, the 3D works absolutely well in this one. It is amazing. I was surprised just from the opening scene when we see the Ikran flying. I was genuinely taken aback because I was like, the wing, it's almost it's so close to my face, like the wings flapping and everything. I was The 3D worked very well. Yeah, as you can tell, the fire particles, the smoke, the sparks, it legit feels like it was almost there at my face. It was so well done. I was genuinely taken aback. The 3D works well. If you're a fan of 3D, you would be doing a disservice to yourself if you don't watch Avatar Fire and Ash in 3D. Because 3D is not going to look any better than this, genuinely. It really complements the movie. It really does immerse you into this world, into Pandora. And that's what I love about these movies in general, not just about the 3D, but the way the way Pandora looks, the way it immerses you into this world, the way it's built. The visuals are just absolutely the very top of the top notch. Absolutely. James Cameron working with some of the best people in the industry to bring his vision into the big screen for us, for the audience to relish. It's tremendous. It really is. This is a technical marvel, and like the previous installments, they absolutely deliver a mind-blowing spectacle of epic proportions. The action sequences, similar to the last ones, are amazing. The level of detail put into these sequences, put into this movie, was honestly impressive, especially considering that pretty much the entirety of it is CGI. Kudos to them. Kudos to James Cameron and kudos to the VFX team. Genuinely, you guys did a tremendous job. You can feel where the money went. You can feel the hard work that was put into these sequences, into this movie, and I really appreciate that. I really love that. I really love when I'm watching a movie and I can feel that. And I'd say that's a pretty good sign. I'd say so. And this is why I love going to the cinemas. These Avatar movies remind me of why I fell in love with watching movies in the cinemas. It's because of the beauty, the immersiveness, and the endless possibilities, and just how much you can build. It's just like that one line that DiCaprio dropped in Inception.
It's the chance to build cathedrals, entire cities, things that never existed, things that couldn't exist in the real world.
Zoe Saldana once again gives a fantastic performance, and in my personal opinion, is Oscar worthy. Genuinely. She has been absolutely amazing in all three of these movies, and she's so committed to the part, and I really love that. I genuinely think she should have been nominated for an Oscar for either one of the Avatar movies, honestly, genuinely. She's one of my favorite parts of these movies. Like, she is amazing. Everyone in the cast did a great job. Sam Worthington, Stephen Lang continues to be fun to watch as Quaritch, and it's fun to watch Jake and Quaritch's dynamic and quarrel. It really is. Sigourney Weaver, is great, she's reprising her role as Kiri from the second movie. She was also in the first one as Grace, but she died. So yeah, she's another character now. But yeah, I think she was great in this movie, especially in this movie. She was one of my favorite parts, especially because she had a lot to do in this movie. You'll see. But yeah, she's great. Okay, if I'm gonna be completely honest though, the writing for these Avatar movies aren't exactly great. They're very straightforward, not just story wise, but also dialogue wise. Like, it almost feels like they definitely spent more time on the visuals, on the spectacle, than the writing. And I don't really care all that much, but it did feel jarring when it comes to this movie for A Fire and Ash, especially when it came to certain characters and their development, particularly Loak, Jake's son, who we saw in Way of Water as well. Spoilers for those of you who haven't seen Avatar 2. Spoilers, but I'm gonna assume you have because it's been 3 years and you're watching an Avatar movie review. Like, I would assume that you have. Like, why would you click on this video? But yeah, assuming that you haven't, click away or skip like 30 seconds. So yeah. So so as we know from the second movie, Loak made very rash decisions. He constantly disobeyed Jake all throughout the second movie, and one of those decisions led to his brother getting killed. Now, I honestly understood him. I honestly understood where he was coming from in the second movie. Genuinely, I didn't hate him. I didn't fully blame him for the death of the brother. Like, I understood where he was coming from. I really did. But in this one, you would expect that he learned from his mistakes in the previous movie, right? You would. But nah, he still continues to make rash decisions and disobey Jake. It it was very jarring to me. I was like, did you just not learn? Like, I don't really get the writing for his character, especially towards the end when he gets developed, when he suddenly, becomes useful. Um, but yeah, he just felt very underdeveloped to me. uh at a certain point, it yeah, you'll see when you watch the movie. The film also presented interesting new ideas in the first act, especially when it came to the dynamic between Jake and Quaritch. And I was sitting there, I was like, okay, I like this, I'm really digging this new dynamic between them. And then, like, 15 minutes later, they revert back to their original dynamic, and it's another Avatar movie. And it I was kind of I was a bit disappointed by that because I really wanted them to explore this idea that they presented to us. I really did. The movie definitely does follow the beats of the previous movies to a pretty jarring extent. And on occasion, I was definitely thinking to myself, I would have wanted to see something somewhat different when it came to the narrative of this movie. Now, this is the longest of the Avatar movies so far, by 5 minutes. It's longer than The Way of Water by 5 minutes. It clocks in at 3 hours and 17 minutes, and it does tackle numerous subplots. And because of that, there are segments to this movie that do drag a bit. It isn't as tightly put together as the second one, and it definitely is not as tightly put together as the first one. Um, and if I was asked the question, I would say that this one is my least favorite of the Avatar movies. The Way of Water is still my favorite, but I'm not saying that this is a bad film by any means. It is still a sight to behold, and I had a lot of fun watching it. I really did still enjoy this movie, and I don't regret spending money on watching this on IMAX. I really did it. I watched this in a packed theater. Every seat was full. I'm not kidding. Like, I had to buy tickets online just so I wouldn't get sold out. Every seat was full. It was. And I love how Avatar attracts people to the cinemas because that is the best way to view these movies. It really is. I still had a lot of fun with this one. It's another technical marvel. James Cameron definitely delivered on that front. So yeah, it's another Avatar movie basically. I'm gonna give Avatar Fire and Ash a B plus. Yeah, the second one's still my favorite. I still I like all of these movies. I really do. I really do. They remind me of why I love going to the cinemas, and I think the visuals. So yeah. So on another note, I live in the Philippines, so I didn't expect a certain thing to happen today, but it did. So as you know, I watched this in IMAX, and before they showed the movie, they actually showed us the 6 minute prologue to the Odyssey. For the Odyssey, the ones that's been the one that has been reported, and everybody in the audience was hyped. Like they recognized it immediately, like the Odyssey. And I was surprised because I live in the Philippines. I thought that was just in America, that 6 minute prologue. So I was like, this is it. This is it. Like it was insane. I was surprised, and it was hype. It was absolutely hype. I cannot wait for the Odyssey. The trailer looks great, and that prologue was an absolute treat. I cannot wait. I really, really cannot wait for July. I can't wait for the Odyssey. So yeah, um, it has been your boy Dane. It is currently 3 a.m. So I'm gonna edit and go sleep now. So it has been your boy Dane, and please like, please subscribe, please continue to view our channel, please, or our videos, please. Like I don't know, I please, it would be really nice if you all do, please, please. So it has been your boy Dane, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.